Welcome to this video. Today I'll show you how to easily install cabinet door handles. I'll even show you how to make this quick, simple template to add speed and symmetry to your project. First thing to do is level all your doors. That way you can ensure that your measurements will give you symmetrical and visually pleasing handles. You want them all at the same level so the eye doesn't pick up any discrepancies. So in order to do this, access the hinges from the back, loosen them all off slightly. You see they have a space that gives them some play that you can move them up and down before you tighten them back in place. Use a straight edge to make sure that they line up best you can. If you haven't backing the screws off too much and they're still kind of snug, try to hold the door in place and then go and tighten those back screws. Next, determine where you want to place the handles. They could be placed centered, both vertically and horizontally. They could be placed lined up to the bottom. Now, also bear in mind if there's any backing. So, for example, if I were to put this handle close to the leading edge here, then I'm going to need to countersink my screws holding it in the back. So keep that in mind. I've elected to just offset it so that I don't have to countersink my screws and worry about it. And I'm just positioning this so that my screws will come to the side of the back. Now, many cabinets won't have that, but if you have some wood backing, just keep that in mind. I've decided to put them at a level that just feels like a natural reach. And now the goal is to have all of your handles at the exact same level so that it looks great. You can go out and buy a template to take care of this so that you can do it with more ease, but what I'm going to do, rather than driving in town and taking all that time, I'm just going to take a piece of painter's tape. This will allow me to see my markings and also give me a bit of a template when I'm done. All you need to make a template is some painter's tape, tape measure, a pencil. I'll be using a Sharpie so you can see it better, and a square. You'll need two leading edges for reference. For this job, I'm going to use this bottom route, and I'm going to use this inside route. So I want to make sure that every time those are my reference points. The length of the tape needs to be at least 2 times the distance to your bottom screw plus the span of the screws in the handle. Lay out a length of the tape overlapping that bottom, and then on this side I want to make sure that it's nice and even with that inside route. Now I'll mark off this bottom reference point, and then 3 more measurements. 1 from our bottom reference point to our first screw of the handle, and then the second one for the span of the handle. So you have to know that distance. In this case, 3 inches. So I'll do 6 inch, 9 inch, and then another 6 inch on top of that, and you'll see why in a second. Taking my square, marking a straight line across. There we've got our handle height marked off. Now it's just to mark off the inset. And the key here is that you want to make sure that you're using the same reference edge each time. So again, I'm using this interior then mark your chosen inset. So now to use this quick template, I just line up the bottom, line it up to the inside here, making sure that it's hugging that inside nice and straight. It's a little fussy that way. And then those are my punch holes. Now to do the opposite door, take that off, flip it over. Now line up that mark to the bottom. Line these up to the inside of the routing. Again, making sure it's nice and straight. That's the fussy bit. And then there are my punch holes right there. That gives me both doors. So with my template in place, I'm just going to take a little punch on the cross marks. This is oak, so it's a little bit hard, but I'm just trying to ensure that when I start my drill bit, it's not going to wander a little bit before it gets going on the hole. Just going to double check my distances again. Make sure everything's lining up correctly. Now drilling in from the front, again, open up, double check, make sure that you're not going to end up drilling on any interior wood. So I know I'm clear from that surface, always double check. Visually inspecting my lineup of my holes, everything looks good, so I've done my due diligence. Now I'm going to drill a small pilot hole. I'm really trying to make sure that my drill bit is level, so I'm going to look at it from the side and I'm going to look at it from the top, and I want to go in as straight as possible. Also notice that I'm drilling in from the front. That way I know that even if I drill crooked, which I hope I don't, but even if I do, my front holes will still line up with the spacing of my handle. Now my final bit size, I want one that's a little bit bigger than the threads of the screw that holds the handle on. If it has a little bit of play, that's actually a good thing. It can help you to finesse a little bit at the very end when you're tightening things. Those holes are looking pretty good. Time to put the hardware on. The screws in from the back. Now I'm going to start by screwing by hand first, just to make sure I don't strip. And I'm just going to get it started on one and then get the second one going. Finish off with the drill. And that's it. With a little bit of attention to detail, you can have some beautiful and symmetrically placed handles, which really finish off your project nicely. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to help out the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe, or send me a little thanks through YouTube. Until next time.